Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you're watching this video. I'm making this video documenting the process of creating my final project for the ALX software engineering track. Well, I'm doing it for my phone, connecting to the sandbox on my phone because currently, I'm in Nigeria and, power still an issue, and I could not use my system for now. So I decided that what the hell, I'm just going to depend on my trusty power bank and my phone and just get this done. So the project, it's pretty simple. I named it my Fin Start. It's just financial manager. You manage your budgets, expenses, and all the income and all of that. Then track them for better tracking, basically. So for this video, I'm just going to be creating the basic structure, which will look something like this. Structure, utilities, routes, models, controller, text. That's pretty basic. So for now, this is all I have in this repo. I already created a repository on GitHub and then cloned it here. So let's create the structure. Let's make our first directory. If you're used to Ubuntu Linux, you know we call folders directory. So this is me making one. Let's make utilities first. Then let's do controllers. Let's do controllers. Then let's make for models. Then for text, that's where all the text file, the files for Mocha and all that, test files for Mocha and all that will be to test the entire project. Make sure everything is working fine. So let's make that. Hopefully I got everything. Oh yeah, forgot route or route, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Okay, there. And this command is just for making directories. mkdir, which basically just means make directory. Directory in this case, the same thing as folder. Now I'm just going to, after the done with the basic structure of the directories, I'm just going to create the database connection, which I'm going to be using MongoDB, but I'll be using Mongoose framework to just to help with the modeling, because I want everything to be strict. I don't want also I need the flexibility of being able to add multiple fields of difference. Maybe for one entry it has 4 fields, like maybe name, age, and that, and something like that. Then let's say name and age. Then for another entry there's name, age, and then there's occupation. For MongoDB that is allowed, but if I'm using Mongoose, I have to create a schema and specify the the amount of data that will be in the database. So since this is going to be just for financial tracking, I felt it would be better to use that to make it a bit strict in that sense. So let's go to, and we can go into our utils now. cd just mean changing directory to the utils directory. Now currently there's nothing in here, so vi, which is just a text editor. Let's make our database. So I'm just going to call it db.js. And first things first, we can import mongoose. Missed up that spelling there. We just do require then mongoose. That should import mongoose. Then I want everything to be a bit modular in a sense. So just to create a class that handle all database related functions. So I want it. So in this, my approach would be to make the connection sort of like a single thing. Like it's the same single connection for the entire project. So I'm going to do class. I'm going to call it mongoose connect. Let's just call it mongoose connect. Curly braces or curly brackets. This means so I'm going to get the host, which I'm going to create a constant since it doesn't need to change while the program is running. Process, I want to get the environment variable for when I'm actually to easily differentiate when it's in under development and when it's already been deployed. So if it's been deployed and I'm running it in a deployment environment, I'll pass in environment variables for host and then port. But in order to not have to keep changing this anytime I want to do that, so I'm just going to do database hosts. So if this is present, then that host, which might be http column / then www dot whatever, or maybe just the IP address. If that is present, if it was passed in, do that, or just do localhost, which will be for the which will be what I'll be using for development, to test and all of that. So we can either write the IP address, which looks something like this. Or we just do localhost. As far as the computer is concerned, it means the same thing. So then constant for the port. So for the ports, then equals process and I'm using this VI text editor because it's easier to work with on phone, and as you can tell, it has a CLI interface, which is command line interface, no graphics and all of that. It's easier to work with on phone, since thanks to not having power supply, I have to use my phone. Hopefully I'll be able to complete this project this way. I'll be able to complete it. I think I did majority of the ALX program with my phone. A large portion of it anyways. With my phone, most of the codes, most of the assignments, most of the tasks, just use my phone. So I have no doubt in my mind that I can conclude this. I can complete this with my phone as well. Well, this is not what my Samsung was built for, mainly. Yeah, nevertheless, it's trying. It's holding its own. Not without drawbacks, anyways. But, I cannot complain. It does the job. So process again. Let's just say database. Call it database. Again, then what would I want to call the database for this? Let me just call it just the name of the project. Anyways, I can start. Oh, and don't forget single quotes. Well, you can use double quotes as well, but I'm going to be using single quotes all through just for consistency. And then now const the URL for my connection, which is what I'll pass to the to Mongoose, which we in turn pass it to the MongoDB database to connect to the MongoDB. We in turn use it to connect to the MongoDB database. So I'll be using this, and if you know anything about JavaScript, you know using this, I can't remember what it's called, but that lets you format your string this way. So I'm going to show now. The string, let's see, you cannot recall MongoDB colon // and then this is what that's using that symbol helps with. Now I can just do $ brace, then I just put in host, lets me put in that constant in my string, and it just formats that for me. That and colon, then I need to do the same for the hosts. I mean the port. Instead of $, I'm using pounds. Whether pounds or euro. You get those mixed up. So I have my port, then just / then you do the same for the database. Just call database, and that's it. And that's that, and that's the beauty of using this symbol right here. Can you just call my variables in within the string, and it automatically gets the values and put them in the string. Now, since I want to use a single thing, I decided to go this approach. like if brackets, let's say mongoose, which is the name of the class I'm currently in. If my memory serves me well, I can do that in JavaScript. This is the name of the class to get something from the class. So let's say mongoose connect instance. If this instance exists, there's something in this. Then oh, and before I do that, I forgot something important. I should have put this all in a constructor. That way, anytime the class is called, anytime an object is created with the class is used to create an object, all of this get called. All of this code within that constructor is run. That way I can be sure that I just have to create an instance of this class to connect to MongoDB. So this exists. Just return it. Mongoose connect dot instance. Just return that, and that will be the end of that. But if not, contemplating on doing it one. Okay, let's do it this way. Let's just put it in here straight up. If not, then let's connect mongoose, call mongoose dot connect mongoose dot connect, and I just pass in that constant, that URL. Disconnects it. Now to check the connection was successful, I'll just do then. If that connection was successful, it does this, then do this. And what I want it to do in this sense is, this is simple. Just do this. mongoose connect dot instance equals this, meaning when you create this class, when this an instance is created with this class, save that instance in an instance. It's just a property of the class, which is essentially now a property of the class mongoose connect. So now anytime this class is called used to create, if this class is used to create another instance, well, because of this if statement here, it should just check, okay, this is there, then it should keep using that single connection. So that's single thing part, no, not multiple connections, just this same one. Okay, let's see. Let's try. Let's do catch. See if an error arrives. There's an error. Then we just do. I'm going to put this on less 9 for readability's sake. Next one space. Then. Oh, no. Then just catch. No, I don't have that. If there's an error, then this cache just catches the error. If there's an error, the then part will not be executed. It will come straight to catch. So I'm just going to call error it can be a good idea for me to go. No, I cannot. This would be a terrible idea. I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, terrible mistake. Start over. So I had to pause the video. I shouldn't have disconnected. I shouldn't have turned on airplane mode. Forgot I was connected to the sandbox, and that I got disconnected. Yeah, so we'll do it this way. Error. So the code for the error, if there's an error, to be pretty straightforward, I'm just going to log that. So be console. Here's the log one. Here's the error. Here's the error. So it will be not the text. What does it say? Error connecting to MongoDB. Let's do that. Let's do that. So error connecting. Or let's just say error. This then we'll do $. Yes. Then we'll just print add the error message. And I think that should be that for. Oh no, that is not that. So right after, and I can do this. create a new, let's say, constant, call it database client. Or database connect. Then this equals new, creating an instance of the mongoose class, of my mongoose class. And we just close that, and we export. Let's do, I want to export it some other way before. Let's do model dot export, then equals to db. In case we need this anywhere else within our code, we can just import that, and that will be all. Now this is just to save, and I think that is that. And for, oh, this video is already getting something, and this is 30 minutes already. Okay, let's quickly do redis. Redis.js. I'm going to try and rush through this. Why do I keep getting imports spelled wrong? I don't know. And then we're just going to import create clients. Okay, in order not to make this video too long, I'm just going to quickly write the code for this, then and I'll explain. So I'm going to pause the video for now, and we are back. So just gonna go back to the top and explain briefly. So I import the create client from Redis, then created a class Redis client. In the constructor, created the property client, so this dot client, then use that to create a client by using the create client that I imported at the top. Then I just created an event. So this event is this dot client dot on error. If there's an error, then this caches that error and logs the error message. And then there's a method. This is alive. This method is just to check if I'm going to connect it to Redis. If the application is connected to Redis, that's what this just does. Then this a method is an async method, so I can return a promise from this, and it's I think this is the new for the latest version of Redis. You have to return a promise, I think. Don't quote me on that. So I created return a new promise. Then in that promise, since this method is setX, is just to put in something, to save something in Redis database with an expiration date or time. So this message just takes key, the value to be saved, then the duration. then this dot client dot set ex, then I pass in that key, the duration, then the value. Then I also added a callback. That check if that check if there's an error. If there's an error, then this promise rejects with the error message. But if there's no error, then it resolves with reply. The reply in this case would be, I think the key. I think if I'm not mistaken, when you're using Redis and you set something, it returns the key, or it doesn't return the value. I can't remember. I don't know what it returns, but whatever that will return is what that reply would be. Then same thing for get. Get only needs to just take the key value, the key of what you want to retrieve. Then this just the same thing, returns a promise. And that promise, I just got the this.client.get, then the key, which is what to be gotten. Then created wrote a callback for that as well, callback function for that as well. And if that key does not exist in the database, then it rejects with an error. But if the key exists in the database, it resolves with the value. It's the value. Presuming, let's say I have set something using the set x that I created, then it returns with the value of what is in there, as long as that duration has not expired and has been. Because once the duration expires, it gets deleted. When I just noticed something while I'm talking now, that this week might create a little bit of an issue. Well, it shouldn't, but don't think it would. No, it won't. I was looking at that name, the setx for the method. Now same thing for delete. Takes a key, returns a promise, then this dot client dot delete the key of what is to be deleted. Then if there's an error, then we added the callback as well. Rejects if there's an error, then resolve if there is no error. So that's just the class. Then I just created a constant Redis client, then created an instance of that class, then I export it. So for everything I'll be doing within this application that I'll be writing the code for, that will require Redis, this will be the instance that will be used, just this instance. So that is that. Hopefully for my next video I should be dealing with the authentication and the user data model, creating a schema with mongoose and all of that. Hopefully I'll be able to complete this entire project using my phone. Well, like I said earlier, I use my phone for most of my project and tasks in ALX. But it wasn't because initially it wasn't because of power. There was power at the beginning, but while I was starting the program, I heard someone asked one of the mentors a question that is it possible to complete this entire program using our phone? I also thought it was impossible at that point. Then I saw the tools that were provided to us, like this sandbox that I'm currently connected to, and I was able to get this application that I'm using right now that allows me to connect to the sandbox. And I was like, you know what, challenge accepted. Let's see what I can do with this. Then I did most of the foundation phase with my phone. Basically, just use my phone to write the codes and all of that. Use my phone to whatever material we are given to read. I use my phone, and that has been it. For then, when I was supposed to do my foundation project for a foundation project, I decided that I wanted to learn how to use Emacs, so I had to switch to my laptop back, because using Emacs on phone like this, I felt it was going to be hectic, so I decided to. That was why I switched back. So initially it wasn't because of power. I just was like a challenge. Can this be done? Okay, let's try it, and I was able to do it. Then I switched my laptop to just use. And the only thing I needed my laptop for was just to be able to quickly text interface. Like when I write HTML code, let's see what it looks like quickly. But the rest of the codes, I could have done it with my phone. Anyways, the rest of the codes, because I educated that in Python, I could have done that with my phone. Because I've been writing Python codes with my phone as well. But I'm kind of grateful that I actually took that challenge upon myself, because now I'm actually in a situation whereby there is no power supply, and my power bank can't really charge my laptop, so it can at least charge my phone 5 times. If the power bank is fully charged, it can at least charge my phone minimum of 5 times, from 0 to 100, minimum of 5 times. And since this is just going to be an API, I don't need to develop any interface for anything. I don't need to write HTML code that I need to text in real time and see what it looks like. So I guess this would work. This would work. So initially it wasn't because of power, but now it is because of power. So let's see how this goes. Thank you everyone that took their time to listen to me just ramble on while I code and watch me do this. This is my first video that I'm going to post online of me doing. First video of any sort of this kind for me, anyways. So let's see how this goes all over time. Let's see if I'm able to do this consistently, like record myself doing a little bit of code and then explain the codes as I go. Let's see if I'm able to document this completely using my phone. All right, thanks everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Catch you in the next one. Bye for now.